With these braces, it's a lot easier to carve the back braces if they're just parallel ladder braces than the soundboard, because the soundboard is going to have the X braces. So you can take them down height-wise with your little finger planes. And as far as the height goes, they don't need to be really more than 550, 600 thousandths of an inch in height. If you want to go really high, like if your braces are 700 thou, that's a lot. That's plenty. So I'll just take them down a little bit to true them up, and then I'm gonna shave off a little bit of a profile here. I'll carve this one round to show you how you can round them. And I'm going flat, then I'm rotating a little, so it's, you know, like 35 degrees, then I'm going 45, then I'm going 50, then I'm going 65, then 75, etc. And then you end up getting a little bit of a curve. So I'll do this other side here. This brace is still tall, it's going to come down more yet. That's one way of shaping it, like so. Etc, etc, etc. If you wish, you can also have them pointed. The more material you'll take off, the more the braces will allow the back to resonate. I don't know if you've ever played your guitars in such a way, but with my mandolin especially, I notice it on a regular basis with my little arch top guitar. But if you're playing an acoustic instrument and you have it sitting on your lap and the back is not touching your chest, it resonates a lot. So sometimes if I'm playing a break on a stage and I'm playing a solo, when I raise up the guitar away from my chest, the back is able to resonate more. It actually has a little bit nicer tone. I do that with mandolin all the time. That's why you always play your rhythms like that here, solo up here. Same thing applies with guitars. So if you want to brace your back lightly, take off material, and that will give you more harmonic response. You'll get extra little notes that you would not get from your back if you have it braced really heavily. So larvaes, rather than having them radiused or curved like this, they have them so they're just a point. They're nice and pointed like an A-frame. And I'm going to keep on shaving these down. And well, maybe I'll make this one, you know what, just for the heck of it, I'll shape these so they're sort of more like an A. So another tool that's pretty handy for this is your chisel. Might not be a bad idea to go through some chisel sharpening techniques, but you can also try using your chisels for this. The chisel is a nice tool because it allows you to take off maybe a little bit more material, but the big thing is just developing control for it. Now this chisel, I'd say, is a little bit on the dull side. You want to be careful that you don't take your chisel and gouge out the center reinforcement strip, because you can mark it up really nicely. So if you want a quicker, easier way of carving, just take the finger plane, round off the tops, have them planed down to the appropriate thickness, so in the middle they're roughly you know, between 550, 600 thou in that range, and then you can just put the radius to them. Okay. That's why if you have spruce that's straight and doesn't have a twist, it carves quite nicely. Every once in a while you'll find a brace that has a little bit of twist in the grain, and you should be able to carve it nicely, but because of the twist it makes it more difficult. There's a little bit of run out there. Oh, it's still carving all right though. So I don't want to touch the bottom. I want to keep the bottom width the same as it has been the entire width here. Then the stage, it's starting to look fairly nice. My concern is its height. So if we grab calipers or even a ruler, right now it's at 3/4 of an inch tall. This. So I'm gonna take it down. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of a taper like this. So I'll have a peak in the middle. I don't think it's relatively symmetrical, so well. It's 529, 643, 580, so I'll take it down a little bit more over here. 541, 529 over there. 30, yeah, it's within 2,007 inch side to side, but now it looks like it's got a little bit more material on this one side, so you can take your plane just to carefully even it out, or your chisel if you prefer. That looks alright. So then take a sanding sponge and a piece of 220 grit sandpaper. Sand it up, make it look pretty. And again, the old vintage Martin style braces are halfway in between these two. And the lower bouts are typically quite wide. They're about 3/4 of an inch wide and quite low. So there's brace carving in a nutshell.